On the evening of October 23, 2023, residents of Acapulco, Mexico went to bed hearing that Tropical Storm Otis was 175 miles to the south in the eastern Pacific and was expected to remain a tropical storm. But by the morning of the 24th, Otis had become a hurricane. It was intensifying rapidly and at a far greater rate than the intensity models were predicting. In fact, the models didn't catch up to what Otis was doing until late in the day. Dire warnings were issued for Acapulco just hours before landfall for an unprecedented hurricane. Less than 24 hours since it had been a tropical storm, Otis had become a 165 mile per hour Category 5 hurricane. It made landfall in Acapulco as a Category 5 just before 1 a.m. local time on the 25th. It was a terrifying night, with windows and walls being blown out of high-rise hotels, exposing entire floors. 80% of Acapulco's hotels were damaged, along with 98% of the city's homes. Dozens were killed and tens of thousands were displaced. More than 4,000 businesses were wiped out and hundreds of boats washed ashore. In an area where landfalls are rare, Otis became the costliest hurricane in Mexico history. A large part of what made the rapid intensification of Otis difficult for the models to predict is a relative lack of observational data in the eastern Pacific. Intensity forecasting is tricky to begin with because it can involve smaller changes that the models may not be able to capture, and that's even more true when the data is sparse. But what's also complicating the matter is a greater amount of potential energy in the oceans. Otis's rapid intensification was among the fastest on record, and it occurred, as is often the case, when the storm passed over exceptionally warm ocean waters. Over the last several decades, an increase in rapid intensification has been observed among global tropical cyclones. Warmer oceans appear to be an important driver, and a study published just this spring revealed an increase in rapid intensification near coastlines due in part to higher humidities and reduced wind shear. A warmer world is projected to be more conducive for the rapid intensification of hurricanes. With tens of millions in vulnerable areas, we'll need improvements in intensity forecasts, which means we'll need to close the gaps in our ocean observation networks.